Hello, beautiful friends. Welcome back to 365 Days of Love and Miracles with A Course in Miracles. My name is Arlene Geres, and I am so glad that you are here. Please remember to listen right until the very end, because we have a special treat for you. And if you enjoyed today's video, please click like and subscribe down below, because this helps others to find us on YouTube. Today's lesson is lesson number 262. This is our second lesson under the section, What is the Body? Before we read today's lesson, we are asked to read this section, so let's do that now. The body is a fence the Son of God imagines he has built to separate parts of his self from other parts. It is within this fence he thinks he lives, to die as it decays and crumbles. For within this fence he thinks he is safe from love. Identifying with his safety, he regards himself as what his safety is. How else could he be certain? He remains within the body, keeping love outside. The body will not stay, yet this he sees as double safety. For the Son of God's impermanence is proof his fences work and do the task his mind assigns to them. For if his oneness still remained untouched, who could attack and who could be attacked? Who could be victor? Who could be his prey? Who could be victim? Who the murderer? And if he did not die, what proof is there that God's eternal Son can be destroyed? The body is a dream. Like other dreams, it sometimes seems to picture happiness, but can quite suddenly revert to fear, where every dream is born. For only love creates in truth, and truth can never fear. Made to be fearful, must the body serve the purpose given it. But we can change the purpose that the body will obey by changing what we think that it is for. The body is the means by which God's Son returns to sanity. Though it was made to fence him into hell without escape, yet has the goal of heaven been exchanged for the pursuit of hell. The Son of God extends his hand to reach his brother and to help him walk along the road with him. Now is the body holy. Now it serves to heal the mind that it was made to kill. You will identify with what you think will make you safe. Whatever it may be, you will believe that it is one with you. Your safety lies in truth and not in lies. Love is your safety. Fear does not exist. Identify with love and you are safe. Identify with love and you are home. Identify with love and find yourself. Let's talk about paragraph 1. When we look at each other through the eyes of the ego, we see our bodies as being discrete individual beings, and we truly believe that we are separate. Now, anyone who has held a brand new baby knows what it feels like to feel that baby deep inside of your heart and to have a love that is absolutely indescribable. It is so deep, so powerful, and so overwhelming. We feel at one with that baby. This is only a glimmer of the truth of how it is when we accept our oneness with God and all of creation. I am you and you are me. We are all one in the mind of God. We are an idea in the mind of God. We are all joined. We are all one. But the ego has created this illusion in which we see our bodies as discrete, and these bodies are literally a fence that we have built around ourselves to keep ourselves separate, not only from others, but from the true essence of who we are. In that way, we keep ourselves separate from ourself. We think we live within this fortress of these bodies, and we live and we die, and eventually that body fades away, and the ego would tell us that that's the end. That's the end of who we are. We're dead. We're gone. We no longer exist. None of that is true. We are very much alive forever and forever. Do you feel that you need to protect yourself from love, my friends? Do you feel that you have to keep your fences up? You have to keep your suit of armor on. You have to keep yourself separate from other people. You cannot afford to open your heart fully to God's love and to the love of others because you're so afraid of being hurt. I would invite you to journal on this. Ask yourself the question honestly. What are you afraid of? What do you think will happen if you fully open your heart to love? What will happen if you come home to God and you accept that you are, in fact, love? Let's read lesson 262. Let me perceive no differences today. Let's talk about it. Today, we're going to ask for help to accept our oneness with God and all of creation. Let's say our morning prayer. Dear God, please give me your mind to think, your ears to hear, your eyes to see, your words to speak, and your heart to love. Amen. 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 When we do this, we are asking to see that there is no difference between you and me and the next door neighbor. We are all the same. Let us perceive no differences today. If you would like to close your eyes, this lesson starts with a prayer. I'll read the lesson once, then we'll talk about it, and we'll pray it one more time at the end of the lesson. Father, you have one Son, and it is He that I would look upon today. He is your one creation. Why should I perceive 1,000 forms in what remains as one? Why should I give this one 1,000 names when only one suffices? For your Son must bear your name, for you created him. Let me not see him as a stranger to his Father, nor a stranger to myself. For he is part of me, and I of him, and we are part of you, who is our source, eternally united in your love, eternally the Holy Son of God. Let's talk about it. The Course tells us over and over again that there is only one of us here. I cannot hurt you without hurting me. I cannot judge you without hurting me. And I cannot love you without loving me. If I am holding a resentment towards anyone, I am hurting myself. It's like I put that other person in jail and I hold the key. I have to be there guarding that prisoner all day long, every single day. And the only way that I am going to be free is if I unlock that door and I set the prisoner free. When I do that, I discover that the prisoner has been me all along. We are asking here to choose to look on every single person as God's beautiful beloved child. We are going to look on each person that we meet or even think of as being ourselves. There is only one Son, and that is you, and that is me. We are all one in God. Why should we perceive 1,000 forms in what remains as one? Actually, there's a lot more than 1,000, aren't there? When we look at people, do we look for the similarities or do we look for the differences? Do we look to see where we're all the same? Or do we choose to see the gender, the race, the culture, the age, how tall, how short, how fat, how skinny, the socioeconomic status, on and on the list goes. I'm not saying that we don't see those things, but we recognize that these things do not define a person. If we take off these skin suits, we are all exactly the same on the inside. We are all joined in God. We are all one. We are all God's beautiful, beloved children, every single one of us. Each one of us bears God's name because He created us. So, my name is Arlene God. If you don't believe me, go look in the mirror, look deep into your eyes, and see if you don't recognize that God is in there. God is inside of you, and God is inside of me. We bear God's name because He created us. This is especially important to remember anytime that I am holding a resentment against another person. I stop and I remind myself that this person also bears God's name because God created them. We can't stay angry when we're seeing God in the other person. This has been an especially helpful idea in our marriage. Because we've been practicing A Course in Miracles, my husband and I have very little conflict. But when it does occasionally arise, we both go into our rooms and we say this prayer: Dear God, please help me to see my husband, help me to see my wife through your eyes. Help me to love my partner the way that you love him, the way that you love her. Help me to accept that my husband, my wife, is your beautiful, beloved child, and help me to love them the way that you love them. Amen. And you cannot stay mad when you are choosing to see the other person as literally being a piece of God. We accept that we are eternally united with each other. I am eternally united with my husband, and I am eternally united with all of you. We are one, my friends, and I hope to meet all of you as we trudge the road of happy destiny. We are eternally God's beautiful, beloved children. You are God's holy daughter. You are God's holy son. Let's finish today's reading. We who are one would recognize this day the truth about ourselves. We would come home and rest in unity, for there is peace, and nowhere else can peace be sought and found. Let's talk about it. We are never going to find peace if we want to believe that we are separate. We're over here in the world of the ego, seeing ourselves as being individual beings. We have to protect ourselves in order to keep ourselves safe. The only way we're going to find peace if we accept our unity. We accept that we are one with God and all of creation. No exceptions. No one is left out. We cannot afford to hold a resentment towards anyone, and especially ourselves. Let us come home and rest in unity, for there is peace, and nowhere else can peace be sought and found. Let's talk about our practice sessions for today. First thing in the morning, last thing, just before we go to sleep, we are asked to read or listen to today's lesson, and then state today's idea, let me perceive no differences today. As we go into our meditation, we make the best effort that we can to give these meditations the time that they deserve, because we hunger for this time with God. For our shorter practice periods, on the hour, often in between, and especially whenever we are upset for any reason, we simply state today's idea, let me perceive no differences today, and we stop and we reflect. Is there anyone that I'm seeing as different? Am I holding a resentment towards anyone right now? I give it to God. I ask God to take it away. I ask God to help me to see this person through His eyes and to love this person with His heart. If you would like to close your eyes, we'll read today's prayer one more time to finish today's lesson. Father, you have one Son, and it is He that I would look upon today. He is your one creation. Why should I perceive 1,000 forms in what remains as one? Why should I give this one 1,000 names when only one suffices? For your Son must bear your name, for you created him. Let me not see him as a stranger to his Father, nor as stranger to myself. For he is part of me, and I of him, and we are part of you, who is our source, eternally united in your love, eternally the Holy Son of God. Let me perceive no differences today. Amen. 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 Thanks so much for listening right until the end, my friends. If you enjoyed today's video, please share the love. Tell someone about these videos. Encourage them to start at lesson 1 and only do one lesson a day. Are you ready for our special treat? Silly dog. Come on. Come on. Come on. Let me perceive no differences today. Have a day of accepting your unity with God and all of creation, my friends. I love you.